Oh geez, am I starving? Oh man, I don't. You know what? I hit the spot. Good old poisonous potato. Oh man, it's been ages since I've had one of them good old poisonous potatoes. Oh yeah, just like Mom used to make. Oh yeah, hits the spot. Oh, that tastes so good. Alright, let's get on my way. Oh man, I tell you what, this is really provoking my appetite. Such lovely atmosphere. I could really use myself another one of those delicious home cooking potatoes. Oh yes, bring back the memories. Oh!
'Tis another lovely ominous night here in the Town City. Play. Comment what the name of the town is. And oh my, it seems we have a security issue. Do your job! Here, I'll help him out. Death from the side. Lag? Ow, ow, ow! Oh. You're useless. Time for another exciting showcase of commands. I'll meet you over at the time lapse. Okay, let's sort some stuff out. Button flash, command block. Are you excited? I'm excited. Oh boy, I have so long been trying to execute commands relative to blocks. And if you've watched my previous videos, you've seen that I've kind of done it, but it's very big, very clunky, using WitherSkulls relative to the position of the player. It's very messy. But finally we've been saved by none other than Dan the Man with his destroy specific block command setup. So if it weren't for him, we would not have this excellent set of commands to give us this incredible system. So make sure you go over to his channel and give him the love he deserves. Now getting into the commands, basic fill clock. And what this does is it seems like it's a fill replace command. I am replacing a crafting table with a hopper. And that's true, but there is a middleman to this. And this middleman is none other than everyone's favorite double tall plant. So these first two commands, if you recall from the TNT video, I was saying that there was a problem with me placing blocks up close to me, that they weren't activating up close, and I'm assuming this is a bug where for large fill commands, blocks closest to you won't update. But we can bypass this by having two fill commands. And this first one is a small radius around the player, let's do the math together, a 2 by 2 by 2, see, I'm good at math, a 2 by 2 by 2 square around you is taking all the crafting tables and replacing them in double plants. And this one as well, only a slightly larger area. And that eliminates that annoying having to be very far away from the block in order to make it do anything. So when both those commands are going off, oh man, I didn't think this one through. Excuse me. Oh, dang it. Now what happens with double plants is when they are set, they break immediately when they are updated. So we actually have the entity of the double tall grass, and we give that a score of a dummy objective called block execute. And from that entity, we are executing all our commands. So that's where we get all our fancy stuff from. And I believe this command is one of the many commands that are being executed at said block. These last two commands are the cleanup commands. This kills an item with that score, and this just resets the scoreboard of that value. Now, that's all you need for to execute commands relative to blocks. Those commands that I just mentioned. In fact, if I quickly replace this, let's do a bit of change up here. So as you saw, I changed that so that now when I place a block, it actually is, well, yeah, it's just going to turn this crafting bench into a piece of dirt. How cool is that? Alright, now in order to make the custom crafting bench, a few commands are needed in order for this to happen. The first of these commands is a set dropper command. Any of those who have tried to set block or fill with droppers or dispensers or furnaces or the acrylic light will know the very annoying thing that droppers, even when you give them a data value, always like to point in the same direction. If this had a damage value of 0, it would be pointing down. But no, it wants to have a damage value of 3. So be it. Hopefully that gets fixed. The next command we have here is a very, at least for me, complicated minecart command. This is what gives the crafting table graphic on top of the dropper. And of course this is a bit of a crazy command. I'll make sure I put all these in the description. But I chose to use a command block minecart so that none of the minecarts that you may already have existing in the world interfere with this. And what this command block minecart does is that it is summoned below the dropper, and it has a custom display tile of a crafting bench. The crafting bench has a tile ID of 58. And it's given a slightly high offset so we are able to see it high up without seeing the minecart underneath. Now what's very annoying about these minecarts is when they are stuck inside a block, they like to go a little bit dark on me. They like to very shy, and that's why we have our good friend glowstone to help light it up. Unfortunately, it only works with glowstone. Air, track, torches, glass, all that stuff gives us very dark textures. This is not a crafting bench. This is evil. Anyway, moving on. And those are all the commands you need in order to make it look like a crafting table. Now, to remove the crafting table, I have this comparator set up right here. And what this does is that it checks for all command block minecarts. It's getting dark out. It checks for all command block minecarts in the world, which if this is a normal survival world, you're probably not going to have those easy to come by. So it will check by those, and right above it, it'll look for air, or when I destroy the hopper. And when this occurs, stop going down! It basically I fiddled around with this for a bit, but I basically take the block that is underneath the minecart command block and clone it above it. And just to make sure that if you have multiple of these custom crafting benches around the world, I made sure that this only occurred within a 5-block radius of you. And that's where it does not become multiplayer friendly. Sorry. And then after that, it just kills all those command block minecarts within that same radius. So, I just destroyed the last one. Just need to borrow this for a quick second. As you can see, I can place one here. We forget. Oh, ignore the blackness. And we can place one by Mr. Pig. Aren't you a good little pig? Now, if I destroy this one, it will kill the command block minecart that was closest to me, but not the one over here, so that we may have multiple ones. Okay, continuing on. Battle mode engaged. You can't see me, I'm in tall grass. Oh yes. Here I am. Hello? Hello? I'm not loved. Ah! I'm loved! I'm very loved! No! Too much love! Love hurts. This might be difficult at night. I think we're in the clear. Oh, there must be a party down there tonight. Anyway, back to commands. Where were we? Ah, yes. The... Oh, bloody hell. Oh, duh. Right. Glowstone. Glowstone is good. Makes command block minecarts happy. Anyway, we're being swarmed! Have any tips? I'm doing a command showcase! Bugger off. I didn't anticipate this audience. Anyway, those last 3 command blocks down there are the removal of the custom crafting table. Basically what they do, and I'll explain so we can look at them really quickly, is when I break a dropper, just like with the... Just like with the double tall grass, it checks for a dropper drop, and it kills that. It gives it its own score, kills it, and spawns a block drop of a crafting bench. So if we have a quick gander, as you can see, just like with the double tall grass, only I decided to give it a score of 2 to make it a little bit different, a little bit cooler. And from there, it summons a crafting table, bench, block, whatever you call it, tomato item, and then kills our poor dropper. And that's all there is to it. Now let's go home before party gets a bit rough. Party's rough. Party's very rough. Save me, door. Hello? Alrighty. Let's go to bed. Command block. Good morning! No! No! No lottering! Woo! Boo! Anyway. Alright, so now that the world is not trying to murder us, we shall go back and we will look over how it was I was able to implement crafting recipes inside the dropper. And what this does is that we go back to our good old friend, the command block minecart, and we execute a test for block command right above it. So for example, this is the command that checks for the recipe to make the iron sword. And as you can see here, we test for a dropper. I would like it to be dropper 0. No, it wants to be dropper 3. Fine. Anyway, in slot 7, which is the bottom middle slot of a dropper, in case you did not know, with storage items or any sort of a block that you can store items inside in Minecraft, the first slot of the block is always 0. So that's why the bottom middle slot of this is not 8 but 7. And it's also why the top middle slot is 1 in that too. But anyway, this looks for the bottom middle slot of the dropper, checks for a stick. Just 1 stick, that's all you need to make a sword. And also we check for 2 iron ingots in their respective spots. Again, I will show the command in the video description as well. And this is for our good old poisonous potato. Now, unfortunately, this is not a shapeless crafting recipe. You need a lot more command blocks in order to do that. This specifically checks for a potato in the top middle slot and a spider eye in the middle. 4. Anyway, when those execute, we update the data of that using a command called block data. What block data does is it alters the data of the block that we choose. And this block is a dropper that is right above the command block minecart. And this basically will remove all the items in the dropper and replace it with an iron sword right in the middle, or good old poisonous potato in the center. And that's kind of neat. For each custom recipe, you only need these 2 command blocks, and you can pile on as much as you want. Now, this is a bit of a setup, and I know that there are some of you out there who want to test out your own execute at block commands, and I will sift those out for you, make sure that I make them known in the video description, but I will also do another video where I show just the commands to make a command block execute at itself, like I did with my first videos. But anyway, this is exciting. This is like adding a whole new tag to the game. Oh yes, I do love myself a good old potato. Here, sharing is caring. Unless it's the flu. Well anyway, thank you so much for watching another episode of my command series. Again, as always, it means a lot to me. It means a lot to Mr. Chicken. It means a lot to wrong facing dropper. But we still like it. I forgot my pickaxe. You're staying up here. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. As always, you guys mean a lot to me. And I so look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Chicken, you know what to do.